beloved Disney influencer Dominique Brown was attending a holiday food event hosted by BoxLunch when the unthinkable happened. Her sudden death sparked grief amongst the Disney-bounding community, outrage amongst her friends and followers, a wave of allegations against both BoxLunch and event venues' negligence, and controversial personal accounts of what actually happened. So, how did a festive holiday gathering turn into an unimaginable tragedy? Let's talk about it. If you aren't familiar with Dominique, she had been posting style videos, Disney-bounding ideas, and wasn't just another influencer, but a trailblazer in the Disney fandom. She co-founded Black Girl Disney with her friend Mia Vaughn after coming home from a fun trip to Disney World, finding that a majority of fan pages, style blogs, and merch lacked representation. The duo wanted to create a safe space for women of color, where they were the center of representation and ended up building a community. On December 5th, Dominique headed to BoxLunch's exclusive holiday event hosted in Los Angeles. This was supposed to be a cozy gathering, full of festive vibes and community building with influencers. It was also a chance for Dominique to meet up with friends that were also invited to the event and have a chance to mingle and relax. Now, Dominique has been repping BoxLunch for quite some time, having gone to events hosted by them before, like this one back in November 2022, having posted outfits or accessories made by them, making giddy reels unboxing their gear, and seems to have even collabed with the brand with sponsored posts like this one from January last year. So they go way back. Even in her very last Instagram post, Dominique had tagged BoxLunch since she was wearing a Winnie the Pooh cardigan from their collection. Little did she know, the brand she knew and loved would lead to her untimely demise. So, what happened during the event? The details are actually heartbreaking. You see, Dominique suffered from a very common yet often overlooked food allergy: peanuts. According to reports, since Dominique had to live with this severe allergy in her day-to-day life, she was quite careful about what she ate and double-checked with the event staff about allergens, specifically whether the food contained any peanuts. She was reassured that the food was safe for her to consume. And well, that's what she did, until moments later, shortly after eating, something went very wrong. She went into anaphylactic shock. Unfortunately, Dominique passed away before paramedics arrived on the scene. And here's where the details get a little murky and allegations go beyond just an allergic reaction to food served at an event. Some rumors suggested that Dominique didn't have immediate access to life-saving medical help. Why? Others said photos were being prioritized over her health, and the event itself lacked basic food precautions. BoxLunch is facing backlash for what many see as negligence, and the entire situation has brought up serious questions about accountability, food safety, and how we treat life-threatening allergies in public space. Moreover, there were accusations of racism. Here's the breakdown. According to People, one of their reporters who was attending the event witnessed Dominique receiving CPR and later learned that 911 was immediately called. However, some claim otherwise. One user on X alleged, "She was my mom's best friend of 10 years. She asked if there were peanuts in the food and everyone told her no. When she instantly felt bad, she asked someone to take her to the hospital. Everyone said no and to take pictures first. So sad." Some people call them out, accusing them of making up information for attention. This is a up thing to lie about. You really want attention for a woman's tragic death? This is all wrong and misinformation. I am actually friends with her, and some of my best friends were with her the whole time. 2 other friends who were doctors were also assisting, and there was an EpiPen, it just was not effective. Please stop spreading this. But the OP doubled down. Her allergy is too severe for an EpiPen. This is the information my mom was told, and that's what I was told. She is actually friends with her for years, and Dom is her client. I assumed it was her husband who told my mom because it was a man, which is on me. But I'm not lying about anything. This is what we were told. I did not lie. People were spreading misinformation on how she died, and since I not only knew her but knew what happened, I wanted to share for awareness. You don't even know me. You didn't know her or my family. I have no reason to lie about this, and it's sad you think that. People continue to call them out. Like, you clearly don't understand how allergies work. An allergy this severe, and there's no anaphylaxis that wouldn't be treated first with epinephrine and then additional supportive care, would not be something people could ignore, let alone catering staff. Stop spreading misinformation. I have food allergies. She would have had her airway closing up so fast that she would have had all eyes on her within minutes. No one is going to say no, we won't call 911 in this situation. You were saying someone was able to tell your mom what happened because they were at the event and saw Dominique's tragedy unfold? If so, why didn't that person help Dominique at the time when she was obviously in a crisis? However, since the rumor already spread on X, someone commented, "That's insane. I hope they're glad they got one last photo. Was that worth it?" And someone who claimed they were working with the caterer as a server at the event was arguing with X users regarding the backlash about the event staff not caring about allergens. This is truly scary. These events not only need to take food allergens serious, but also consider having EpiPens on hand. I was working there. The catering definitely take food allergies serious. Nonetheless, mistakes happen, and sometimes guests themselves are not as cautious as they should be themselves. Things happen. Doesn't mean it occurred due to negligence or lack of seriousness. BoxLunch was the host of the event. They were not the caterers who provided food and beverage services. No one of the staff working, such as the hosts or caterers, would have denied to help in any way. I was actually working and can tell you the seriousness was very urgent. Management searched for an EpiPen, called medical staff ASAP. As a server, like an event like this, you have a tray in one hand, napkins in the other, and walking around with people who just take off the tray as you pass. She should also be asking what is in it, and not just take anyone's word. Generally, servers would be knowledgeable, but the only person who has final says on allergens are management. Not to say it wasn't preventable, it is very unfortunate. Others are trying to spin the story and bring race as if it always plays a factor. This is so false. By the way, I am a black person. Race had absolutely nothing to do. Majority of the staff were BIPOC. Shut that down too. The staff takes safety precautions seriously. It was very clear she was having an allergic reaction. Don't assume because unfortunately she didn't make it, it wasn't taken seriously. The event was in downtown LA. Always traffic. Getting medical staff isn't always the fastest to arrive. It was a catered event with only tray-passed food. Ergo, food isn't labeled. Also, the people serving food have to serve 5 to 7 different dishes a day, with an overview of the food. The person should be more aware for themselves. The allergies were fully thought about. There were plenty of stuff without allergens. The food was all tray-passed hors d'oeuvres, so that doesn't mean anything. That just means they provided food to cater to her needs. Doesn't mean the hundreds of servers are going to know the hundreds of influencers and specific allergens. She may have told BoxLunch here allergens, doesn't mean she was asking the caterers tray passing for every single dish she was eating and allergens. You just don't understand, and that's okay. Unless you worked in catering, probs wouldn't. We serve 5 to 7 dishes tray pass style 2 to 3 times an event and up to 2 events a day. Not like servers at a restaurant with a set and continuous menu to remember. The specific ingredient knowledge level is not the same. Can't expect and entrust a server at a catered event like this to always be 100% about food they probably barely know the name to. At events as such, management always tells us to get them for any allergy info, whereas at a restaurant, the server is expected to know the allergens enough to communicate. The host, BoxLunch, simply forwards the dietary restrictions to ensure the catering company provides food options that ensures accommodates the restrictions, all of which was done. There were various food options of which she could have ate. Meanwhile, Dominique's friends and fans posted their condolences in disbelief about the situation. Her friend Monica Jade wrote, "I'm disappointed, confused, heartbroken, and angry. All I know is that we all owe Damo so much. She has built real community and created so many opportunities for little black girls turned adults who still believe in magic. I wish we could still experience hers. This was 100% avoidable. My heart breaks for real. The community will never be the same." Another friend, Alexis, wrote, "I can't say your name without tears welling up. That's how profound the loss of you is. I feel your absence, but I'll forever cherish the memories we had, from our first interactions online to the last time we saw each other a couple of weeks ago. Every moment has been filled with nothing but pure joy and camaraderie. Thank you for creating and holding a space for Black women like me, free to be ourselves authentically and unapologetically." Actress Anika Nani Rose, who voiced Princess Tiana, posted a tribute on her Instagram story, calling Dominique a beautiful spirit. Patrick Dougal wrote, "I stayed completely offline yesterday, just trying to mentally process the past 36 hours. Having attended the event that night and hearing everything as it was happening was just a numbing and helpless situation that 100% could have been avoided. Dama was always such a bright light every time we got to hang out at the parks or at an event. She truly never not had a smile on her face. I'm absolutely devastated for her family and our friends, and hope the right parties will be held accountable. Amidst the chaos, Dominique's brother commented on her last Instagram post to thank her fans. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to her social media fam for showing her so much love and light. Disney did bring her joy, but it was unparalleled that she found a community who loved her and Disney as much as she did. I will miss my sister and best friend and that infectious smile she always had. Thank you truly, from the bottom of my heart. However, BoxLunch continued posting on their social media about giveaways and product highlights without addressing the situation. Angry commenters descended on a recent post with a bag featuring Mickey and Minnie Mouse on a gingerbread house. Our holiday favorite is when someone doesn't die from negligence. She died at your event from food you served her. Are you still not going to address the death of an influencer at your event due to food allergies? So disgusting. No EpiPen in sight? And you didn't bother to ask an entire group if they had food allergies? 1-star reviews on Google Maps were also added to Vibiana, which is a cathedral-turned-venue space where the event took place. The negligence of this establishment caused the death of Dominique Brown. I am extremely disgusted in how your servers told Dominique Brown that there were no peanuts in her food after she asked twice. She ate the food and immediately felt ill and passed away as a result of that. And instead of taking any accountability, you haven't said a word nor released a public statement about it. This is very bad and could result in criminal charges against you and Chief Neil Frazier. I sure hope you don't host events ever again after this incident that could have 100% been avoided. Justice for Dominique Brown. Got food allergies? Not anymore, because they make sure you'll be dead instead. Gross and disgusting. A woman lost her life because of this place, and they have yet to say something. And while BoxLunch disabled their comments for their most recent posts, commenters expressed their anger on older ones. To post a giveaway when someone recently passed away at one of your events is insane. Are you going to acknowledge? I wouldn't associate with a company that not only refused to acknowledge responsibility behind the death of a human being, but also they made a dangerous environment for a person with full knowledge that she could be harmed. Don't think turning off the comments is going to stop people from holding you accountable. Y'all can't be serious. Where the is your acknowledgement of Dominique Brown? Are y'all insane? How do you respond to comments associated with your products, but not about the death of Miss Dominique Brown? Not even a paltry "our condolences, we are looking into the matter" to show some humanity? This is not good for your company. BoxLunch did give a short statement to people on December 7th, but didn't publicly acknowledge the incident until the 13th, when they finally posted a longer statement on Instagram. Dominique Brown created a community of love, joy, and representation. We are devastated by her sudden and tragic passing. She was a beloved member of the BoxLunch collective and brought joy to all whose lives she touched. We are also in the process of conducting an investigation into the tragic circumstances of her passing. We have not yet received the information we requested from the operators of the event venue to get an accurate and detailed account of the night. As we learn more, we plan to share this information with Dominique's family. While we know there are no words or actions that will fully heal anyone's pain, we will do all we can to honor Dominique. If we look at the big picture, emergency services were called, CPR was administered, but despite their efforts, Dominique didn't make it. The general consensus and backlash about the situation had people agreeing that the young woman's death could have been preventable. But how? In California, there are currently no legal requirements for restaurants or event spaces to have EpiPens readily available in case a customer shows an unexpected allergic reaction. Only educational institutions are required to maintain EpiPens. This means that individuals with severe allergies must rely entirely on their own preparedness, like carrying their own EpiPen. However, EpiPens are not foolproof and they don't actually stop anaphylaxis. They're more like a pause button for your body's allergic reaction. It injects epinephrine, which helps to open up airways, reduce swelling, and stabilize blood pressure temporarily. But while it doesn't cure the reaction or prevent it from escalating, it buys you critical time to get to the ER for further treatment. Other things people with severe allergies do could be to use electronic testing devices or specially trained allergy detection dogs. However, these solutions are super cost prohibitive. Most individuals rely on information provided by event or restaurant staff regarding potential allergens in food, and advocate for their own safety. A former healthcare worker talked about the situation on TikTok, saying that EpiPens should be more accessible.
So I worked in healthcare for about 6-7 years, right? And I ended up leaving because I realized like there was nothing I could change from within the system. But one of the biggest takeaways that, and I haven't commented on this event because like it's a very sensitive subject. One of the main takeaways that I think we should all look at from the BoxLunch and Dominique Brown's unfortunate passing is that EpiPens should not be prescription. Like, if I can go to CVS or Walgreens or whatever to get a Narcan because someone's having, an emergency event with substances, like illicit substances, I should be able to buy an EpiPen over the counter, 2 of them at least, because apparently you need to because sometimes the first one fails. I should be able to buy that in an emergency situation. Also, all food vendors or even topical like Bath and Body Works, if they have like emergency, like why I can see the boxes like safe, you know what I'm saying? Like the emergency kit, you know what I'm saying? Like the emergency medical kits should have EpiPens in them because say it's something in your lotion, someone's testing it or whatever, and then they have an allergic reaction. Like certain places that have food and topical things that people are putting on their bodies or whatever need to have EpiPens on hand. So like, why are they prescription only? That needs to change immediately. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this unfortunate event because it's like, bro, she really didn't have to die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she did not have to die. What the heck? Like, that needs to change immediately. Like, that needs to change immediately. EpiPen should be over the counter. Like, I should be able to go into CVS and find a 2-pack. Apparently, they go for like $120, whatever. Okay, yeah, that might be kind of expensive, but I'd rather pay $120 if someone pass away. Like, what? Like, be so serious. Like, so let's get it together, you guys, like quickly.
And Dominique's friend, Marcus Medley, started a Change.org petition to mandate life-saving food allergy measures at all food establishments, such as having EpiPens available, training staff to recognize and treat allergic reactions, and better ingredient transparency. Another friend, Kaylin Allen, also talked about their own allergies in a Facebook post. As someone who lives with a nut allergy, I cannot stress enough how critical it is for dietary restrictions to be taken seriously. There have been far too many instances in my own life where I've been assured that something was safe for me, only to discover, sometimes too late, that it wasn't. The consequences of such negligence are catastrophic. When people diminish the importance of dietary restrictions or fail to take the necessary precautions, it can cost someone their health, their safety, and as in Dominique's case, their life. Dominique deserved better. She deserved to be protected and cared for, not failed by carelessness. This could have been avoided if those responsible had prioritized her well-being over convenience or oversight. Dietary accommodations are not optional, they are essential. Every individual with dietary needs, whether due to allergies, medical conditions, or personal choices, deserves respect and diligence. And while these efforts are commendable to remember Dominique and try to change the world to take allergy issues more seriously, a content creator took a horrifying path to spread the story. An AI-generated, distorted version of Dominique.
I died just because of some peanuts, and it could have been entirely preventable. I was invited to a holiday food event hosted by BoxLunch, because I know I am allergic to peanuts. So once I arrive at the event, I check with the event staff, is there any peanuts? They told me that it did not contain an ingredient I was allergic to. But what happened next is really tragedy. Comment part 2.
The backlash was well-deserved. Too soon, my guy. Nah, have some respect. I would crash out if someone did this so soon after my death. I was just thinking this. I'd be so mad. Hopefully they stop making insensitive videos like that, since there are better ways to spread awareness. It's clear that Dominique wasn't just loved, she was impactful, and now her absence is being felt deeply by everyone she touched, both online and in person. Hopefully brands and event spaces could learn from this tragedy and implement better food and safety protocols. Have you ever felt like your safety was ignored at an event? Spill in the comments.